closed today, huh?
Yeah, Thursdays are one free day. We
Alrighty.
open back up at 7 p.m. That's way late.
Most of our regulars know the drill and they go to Deep Eddy for the day, but there are always people that wander in and are surprised that we choose to close.
Closed.
Is there anywhere else we can get a dip? Huh?
Just swim. Oh, Deep Eddy?
Somebody told us there was a dog park that we could swim in down there, so I guess we'll go swim with dogs.
We wanted to swim and sit out on the grass.
Every Thursday. Are you shitting me? Oh my God.
All the swimmer sees is, hey, I can't swim, you know? I mean, and in reality, there's all this work that has to be done.
Cleaning Barton Springs is an ongoing year-round project. We're here every Thursday, all day, even in the winter when it's really cold.
We have an unnatural setting here that's celebrating two natural things that go on, the salamander and the springs. But the fact that we put this big old hunk of concrete around here means there has to be some things to be done. The natural is the springs. The concrete is just part of the human experience.
In 2006, if you were swimming in the pool, it wouldn't have been a very pleasant experience because there was a lot of algae, there was a lot of overgrowth on the plants. The place just wasn't being maintained properly. It was very obvious. It was starting to fall apart. They stopped using chemicals on it because of the salamander. There was no real directives on how to clean the pool. It's like people didn't even know.
It's always been really clear and pretty. Good to swim in. It's kind of gross right now.
The city didn't even realize how to clean it. So they got together and tried to rectify that and also to encourage people in the community to come out here and participate in the maintenance of the pool.
Right here, you can see we've got the fire hose running.
Oh, it's running away.
The flow from this hose simulates a higher current, so it helps pick up dirt, dead plants, sediment off the bottom, and helps rinse it all downstream. Over on the other side of the pool, he's running a gas-powered pressure washer. He's blasting limestone, cleaning the sediment and the algae off of it. And then in the shallow end, we've got a stand-up buffer. So those machines keep the limestone and the concrete free of algae and sediment.
They don't have nearly enough staff to do the kind of cleaning they have to do in one day for this big of a pool. So that's why Friends volunteer.
The primary thing we do, and it looks silly when you're doing it, is that we sweep the pool. We get brooms out and we sweep the bottom of the pool. And this gets a lot of the bad algae. We sweep it towards a large drain on the side of the pool.
We're conquering, slowly but surely.
They really do a tremendous amount of work for us. They can push broom the entire shallow end in one day. We would need 20 lifeguards doing it to accomplish that.
I started coming here in 1963 when I was a freshman at University of Texas, so it's been over 50 years. And my friends were all screaming about how cold it was, and I just thought it felt great. And I swam in it when I was pregnant with all my children, and I brought my children here down in the shallow end. A lot of things haven't changed, and that's just being here in this fresh water and looking out. Now, what's really changed, you see all these buildings when you look toward town that weren't there. Oh yeah, look at all this. Yeah. Well, it's a little hard to see the difference, but you can feel it's a little less slippery. I guess you see more difference when you clean at the edge and get that green algae off.
Steve invented these amazing scrapers.
It takes about 5 hours to do the whole pool. And you're restricted. There's areas along the pool where you can't do this because it's habitat. Salamanders come number one. The springs, and the survival of the springs is number two. And way down at the bottom are the swimmers. They just happen to be the caretakers, but they aren't the most important thing.
It's
funny, it's raining over there, but not here. You can see it at the other end of the pool.
Yeah, it was just raining.
The voice of the National Weather Service serving Central Texas. Weather Service meteorologists indicated a national rate of 3 or more inches per wind estimated rainfall amounts near 5 inches. Excessive rainfall will cause flash flooding to occur.
If you've ever seen a flooding event, it's a trauma to this pool, and it takes a lot of hard work to get it back.
All right, y'all.
Onward to work.
What is this work you speak of?
The thing you're about to do profusely.
We draw down in the event of a flood. It just means that we open the floodgates in the downstream dam. The spring is still flowing, it's just we're not catching as much of it with the dam. We don't drain the pool entirely, there's still water in the channel. We are a habitat, we have fish and salamanders that need water to be there all the time. We just lower the water level. It's easier to clean when the water is shallower. We're not having to fight against that to get our machines down there. Every time there's a drawdown or a flood, we place a curtain or a silt fence across that drop-off to prevent anything we clean from ending up in the deeper part of the spring or in the salamander habitat. So it just acts as sort of a dam or a barrier across the drop-off.
We've had 2 floods in the past year where we've gotten to deep clean the pool. It's one of the more rewarding experiences. Blasting away all the sediment and mud that washes into the pool is really something you can see the difference, and it feels great. Get a little bit muddy.
When we pressure wash the shallow end, a lot of dirt is scrubbed off and dead algae, and it makes this really thick black muck called sludge.
God, that smells disgusting. Who signed up for this when you said you wanted to be a lifeguard?
What I'm doing today is looking for salamanders in the fissures part of Barton Springs pool. When the water level's drawn down, sometimes there's isolated pockets of water that salamanders can be stranded in, and so we look for those salamanders. So how we look for salamanders is by lifting up the rocks. And we always put the rocks back because that is part of the salamander's habitat. Barton Springs is a natural swimming pool, and so we have to clean it in ways that are safe for the salamanders that are living here, safe for the plants that are living here, safe for the fish that are living here. And also, those practices actually make it pretty safe for us to swim here as well.
When we have a flood event, people come back when we open up again and they say, wow, it looks real amazing here. You guys did a great job.
Okay. We actually bought those wheelbarrows about a year ago. I mean, y'all beat the hell out of them.
We did.
Yeah. Sorry. So, no, that's fine. That's what they're for.
In the early days, I'd get done and I'd go sit on that bench at 7 and watch the people come in and the pool's all clean. You know, I slept good that night.
There's something very magical. It's one of the few ancient things we have in this city. The United States is new, Texas is new. This is not new, this is ancient.
I feel like this is a lifeblood kind of place.
You come out, you feel better. There's something about seeing water that's probably deep inside our DNA. We see water coming out of the ground, and we put a big smile on our face, and you know, we know this is good. This means life.
I feel like I'm afraid we're going to lose Barton Springs, and so I want to be active in preserving it.